Stone Brewing Berliner Weisse.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Obviously the coronavirus is a big thing now, so I've had to get all my beer online. I can't go shopping for it anymore because obviously you've got to be staying indoors, which I hope you're all doing. But what I did do, I put in an order with Beers of Europe, which I thought they'd cancelled, but it turned up today, so that was a proper result. And in and among them, I got a can of this Stone Brewing Berliner Weisse. Now, Stone Brewing, if you've never heard of them, are a fantastic brewery. They are based in the United States, but they did open up a brewery in Berlin. Sadly, I think it was late last year, it had to close. And it was actually bought by Brewdog, but it had to close because they just weren't getting enough people through the doors. And to be honest, when I did read about that, I did question whether that was a good or wise idea, trying to open up a craft brewery in Germany, because you know the Germans know their beer, and they brew and they sell some absolutely fantastic beer, arguably some of the best in the world. But to come along and try and open up a craft brewery there, doing IPAs and stuff like that, was quite a bold move. Unfortunately for them, it didn't pay off. But nevertheless, Stone Brewing are a fantastic company. They really have got good ethics, you know, about sticking it to the big corporations that brew beer in America. And they have some absolutely fantastic beers. You know, the Stone IPA that they do, the West Coast, is probably the best IPA that I've tasted so far. The West Coast IPA that I've tasted so far. They also do the Arrogant Bastard Ales and the what's the one that they do, a Pilsner that is somehow connected to Metallica, and I always forget the name. But that's by the by. Anyway, they brewed this Berliner Weisse, and genuinely, it is a Berliner Weisse because it was brewed in Berlin, and it is a Berliner Weisse. Now, what is a Berliner Weisse? You might ask if you don't know. It's a wheat beer that contains wheat, obviously, but it's slightly lower in alcohol, and it's slightly sour. Well, it can be quite sour compared to the Bavarian stuff and all the other German wheat beers. Nevertheless, I really like it. Now, I spoke to one of my mates in Germany, and he was saying, "Oh, Berliner Weisse, it's a woman's drink, etc., etc." I don't care. I quite like it. I've tasted a few Berliner Weisses. Mikkeller do a really good one. Thornbridge do one as well, and a few other brewers do Berliner Weisse. It's quite a popular style, and as you can see, it's not just German brewers who do it. It's taken off massively in America. Well, sour beers are huge in America. Let's stop gassing and let's get this open. As I say, this is a 330ml can, and the ABV on this, oh look at this, look, I thought that was going to go everywhere. The ABV on this is 4.7. Now, normally Berliner Weisses are a lot lower in alcohol than that. You know, you're looking at possibly anything, you know, 3, 2.5 to 3, etc. It's just for people that, you know, want to go out, have a few beers and not get absolutely fucking mashed. The sour taste to it does put a lot of people off, and to be honest, when I first tried sour beer, I wasn't a fan, but I have come round to it now, and I really like it. Now, obviously, there's other styles of sour beer. Belgium do some great sour beer, like Huza is a sour beer. They use all sorts of wild yeasts, wild fermentation, etc. But this has got, especially, what do you do with, I suppose you grow it, yeast. It's a culture, isn't it? It's a bacteria, so I suppose they've specially grown the yeast to do this. So, enough of my gas and waffle. Here it is in the glass. Now, I think I've made a complete fucking pig's ear of that. But that is a 3-finger head. Huge, foamy white bubbles in that. It's cloudy as hell, as you would expect from a Weisse. That's unfiltered. What's on the nose? I couldn't get the nose out of the can because it was frothing like a good one. Oh, yeah. Sour, but with sweet, fruity notes. Now, that's sort of ringing alarm bells for me, but I'm reading the gum from the side of it, and it says it's a true, authentic Berliner Weisse, which it is. It's brewed in Berlin, so effectively it is. It's called White Geist, Berliner Weisse, so I imagine that means white. What is Geist in German? I don't know what Geist means in German. It's not Ghost. Ghost is Gespenst, I think. It says something on the side here. Gebaut in Berlin. Gebraut. Made in Berlin. Brewed in Berlin. Gebraut. Oh, of course. Brewed. What does it say? True, authentic Berliner Weisse. Sparkling and refreshing with the fruity tang of lemon and melon and the tartness of rhubarb and gooseberries. Well, I can definitely get that. I'm definitely getting that sweet fruit. Head's calmed down a little bit now. Let's get it into the glass. Stop waffling. Start drinking. Cheers. Sour with sweet fruit at the end of it. So initially, first mouthful, it's that sourness, the tartness. It makes your face want to shrivel up in a good way. And then as it goes down, that sweetness that they've spoke about with the gooseberries and melon, that sort of comes through it, and the rhubarb too. I'm not a big fan of rhubarb, but it tastes quite nice in there. But there is lemon on that, sour lemon, if you can imagine that. It's really good. It's really nice. And I'd say Weiss beer is my favourite style. If I had to choose between Berliner Weisse and Bavarian Weisse, it'd be Bavarian all day long. But I do like Berliner, and this is a really nice one. I think it's better than the Mikkeller one, and that was a really good one, so that's quite good praise for it. But it's really nice. If you've never had one, try and track down a Berliner Weisse. It's an experience. But if you like cider, if you like sort of dry wine, I fucking hate wine, and I think I've got views on people who drink wine, but I'm going to keep them to myself, especially geezers that drink wine. If you're a geezer and you drink wine, you need to sort your life out. But if you like that flavour, you like the, on white wine, you get that sort of dry, crisp. I mean, to me, this is crisp. People talk about lager being crisp. I don't find lager crisp at all. This is crisp because it's dry. It's got dry mouthfeel and tart and bitter as well. Not tart and bitter, tart and bitter. Do you remember that, tart and bitter? Fucking hell, that stuff was terrible. McEwen's, I think that you'd done that. McEwen's tart and bitter. Fucking hell. The drink of choice for every Scottish football hooligan back in the 70s and the 80s. Vile stuff. Anyway, if you like that sort of sourness and you like the dryness of strong West Country cider, that's the only thing I can compare it to. Then you're going to like this. But I'm swilling that round now. I'm smelling that. I'm getting the sourness, but I'm also getting like rhubarb and the melon come through as well. So it's bittersweet, if you like. It's really good. It's probably one of the best Berliners I've tasted. It's really nice. And coming from these, the Stone Brewing Company, these are probably one of my favourite brewers in America. I've got a few. The Alchemist, or Alchemy. Is it Alchemy or Alchemist? I can never remember. They're one of them. I mean, I've tried that luscious stout, and that was Imperial Stout, and it's the best American brewed stout I've ever tasted. That was absolutely superb. I'm trying to get hold of that heady topper as well. But this lot, so far, they've done the best West Coast I've tasted, and this is, so far, this is the best Berliner Weisse I've tasted. It's just superb. And I'm not a massive fan of Berliner. I do like it, but I don't rant and rave about it. But this is really good. I could drink quite a lot of this. This would go great with food as well. You know, anything sweet or meaty, red meat and stuff like that, you know, or fish, that goes down well with fish as well. Basically anything you can drink white wine with, drink that with, and that'll go down really well. But yeah, what would I give it? Well, seeing as it's the best Berliner I've tasted, that is a 10 out of 10. And I wouldn't expect anything else from the Stone Brewing Company. Sadly, their Berlin operation is about to be shut down, or has been shut down and taken over by Brewdog, so make the most of this, because once it's gone, and you may never see that again. But that's fantastic. That's a 10 out of 10. I recommend that if you can get hold of it. Well, you can if you do it on mail order from Beers of Europe, because that's where it came from. And yeah, if you like it, then you know you've just opened up a whole new genre of beer, of Berliner Weisse, that you can track down and enjoy. And as I always say, beer is working class champagne.